And now enjoy this free JayZoModcast show.
Welcome to my public life as an American nerd. I am your host, David K. Montoya. All right, kids, we are on a roll with guests. Last week we had Iron Mike Lutz, who graced us. I'm already messing up. It's my excitement, kids. Trust me, this is going to be gold. This is going to be audio gold. Now, I met this gentleman, 12 years ago, I think, at this point?
Yep, 12 years ago.
We were working at a hospital, and at the time I had picked up the rights from Russo, the guy that I podcast with on Grindhouse Sleaze. He had the rights to Body Bag, and I was like, you know what, I can do this. Let me make Body Bag. And I remember we were working at a hospital, and he walked in, and he's really stocky. Even to this day, he's still stocky. And I was like, you know what? I bet this dude could probably hold a boom mic. So I was like, hey, you interested in a boom, being a boom operator? And I do believe the initial response was no. And then in time, I think we actually started working together is what happened.
Right. Yeah, I was on day shift initially when I first started. And then I went to night shift, and that's where we met.
And then we just became the best of friends. He literally, if there was ever a term that meant anything, was he became my brother from another mother.
Right.
Literally, we were inseparable for many years.
Yeah, I remember making a comment saying you were like my big brother.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest in my family, so yeah, it was nice to have like a big brother figure.
And then I convinced him, because I've been told I'm persuasive or pushy. Either way, it's the same result.
I think you missed your calling as a used car salesman.
And I hired him as the print publication coordinator for Dark Myth Production Studios. We had just merged all three into one, and we were looking at doing the Yeltnam comic.
Right.
And then he just knocked out of the park. We became even closer friends. And I'm like, I noticed his ability to lead. Because there's just people in this world that are leaders and people that aren't. They're followers. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just natural genetics of who you are.
Right.
And he was a leader. And I'm like, I've got to get him in a leadership role. So I approached you, and it was to be, because at the time, that was when I had the bright idea to separate the editorial from the business part.
Mm-hmm.
I had a managing editor for editorial, and I had the editor-in-chief for the business. And I hired you as the editor-in-chief of Dark Myth Comics.
Right.
Now, before we even go down this rabbit hole, I'm already working on like almost a 4-minute introduction.
You still haven't said my name
yet. Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm very, very pleased to introduce one of my dearest and closest friends, Mr. Mario Martinez.
Thank you.
And this is his first podcast. I've been twisting his arm for like 3-4 weeks now to convince him, and I finally got him here. And we will do our best to not have have a bleep, 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 even though we are known to, when we get together, we start, those words kind of start flowing.
It's just not natural, I guess, but in a bad way.
Well, that's, and the kids are here too.
Right.
And that's kind of the reason why I left Zoe here purposely, because I won't swear in front of Zoe. So if I know she's here, I'll kind of keep it in. So Mario and I, we like I said, we became friends. We became business partners. We were involved in Dark Myth Comics. Do you remember the first comic book that you worked on?
The first one. Oh man, it's been so long.
Was it a Yote Gnome or was
No, I think it was Hero is what we were starting.
Smash?
Smash.
Oh, excuse me. We don't want a lawsuit. It's now called American Smash.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know that.
Because NBC picked up, I don't know how they got it from me. Yes, I do, because I was podcasting at the time, so I let the copyright lapse. They picked up Smash. There was a TV series called Smash, and they picked up the rights to it. I remember when oh my God, I was not a happy camper when that happened. But, so it was Smash, and that was just, because I'm trying to remember, because it wasn't until later on.
Well, the whole thing, you had me inking first, before the whole EIC thing.
Really?
I was an inker for you.
Oh, see, I had it reversed. Okay.
Yeah. I was inking first, and then as we got deeper, you brought Gnome out, and then there was issues with that artist. And you figured, okay, well, if I get him an inker, maybe we can speed the process up. Well, if the inker can ink faster than the penciler, there's a problem. So that still didn't fix the problem. And then eventually I went to EIC and started dealing with those type of issues.
Now, do we want to talk about... Yeah, we do. I mean, it's been years, and I seriously doubt if anybody from that brand are listening to this podcast. I seriously doubt it.
Well, if they are, they already know who we're talking about. So if you want to call them out.
But I was going to say, well, first I want to start that, and I was telling Randy this, and for those that don't know, Randy's my brother. And he was out of the picture for many, many, many years. So I kind of caught him up with things. And I was laughing. I said, Mario was like my version of X-Force. If I felt there was a threat, I would send him after him.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the God's honest truth. That's what I did.
Yeah.
And you were very good at what you did.
Yeah, I had at least 10 different fake emails assigned to different names that we randomly made up, and I would go and find these threats that Dave deemed to the company and just blast them on their page.
To the point where they would fold. They'd literally go out of business.
And other people would kind of take lead or follow me and start blasting them as well, and it snowballed, and all of a sudden their site wasn't up no more, or they moved on.
It was a dog eat dog world in that point of digital comics, because it was kind of like the boom.
Right.
At the time, Kablam was the only one that you could get, so 90% of what was produced as far as independent wise was coming from Kablam. We were all trying to, and they also had they don't have the store anymore, where they hold it, they sell their stuff. They don't do that anymore, but they would sell, and independent marketers or independent comics, we were going for that top spot. It's okay. That's what that's for. The shock absorber.
Well, like I said, I'm still getting used to this, so.
No worries. And so that kind of makes me sound really bad. I almost said a bad word, but that makes me sound like a bad person. But if you're at a certain level and you know that this person is higher in the market than you simply because they have more money, not because of the quality.
Oh yeah, it was never a talent thing. I always felt that we had superior talent. It was a money issue. They might have had more funding from whatever it was, and if they have more funding, then you find other ways to get them and
knock them out.
Exactly. And our talent was better, so I used that to our advantage.
I'm just reminiscing.
This is how long ago it's been.
Okay, go for it.
We had MySpace.
Do
you remember? We had MySpace pages.
Uh-huh.
There was no face. I don't think Facebook was out, or it's just starting.
Because Facebook didn't come out in 2009.
Right. Okay. So yeah, we had MySpace. That's how long ago this has been.
Oh, and we would really
you slipped up before I did.
Oh, I did. Did I?
Yeah, I was worried about it.
See, that's what I mean. The S word slipped out because obviously when they hear it, it's just gonna go beep.
Right.
Yeah, and we would literally sit down with these fake people, and we went like full on creative, and we wrote them like a backstory and their education. And some people were straight, some people were gay, some people were young, some people were old. I mean, we literally just like created this whole little universe of random characters that actually didn't exist for nothing more than taking down these companies.
Mind you, while we were working, hardly any of this was on our free time. This was at work, 3 to 4 days a week, sometimes 5, depending on if a con was coming, because then we would work overtime. But a lot of this was while we were working. And
knock on wood, no one ever died on us.
Nope.
That was always the icing on it. Well, I should mention, because I don't think I said we worked in a hospital, but we actually worked in the intensive care unit.
Right.
As monitor technicians. It was our jobs to watch people's hearts. And in fact, you still work there.
Yes.
I have a bad temper, and I kind of threw chairs at people and got fired. And it was our job to watch the hearts, make sure nothing bad happened, make sure they didn't die. And somehow, kids, we literally did that and ran not only, and I'm getting in, we'll get into further because Mario not only stayed as the editor-in-chief, it's one of those situations where even though he loved what he did, he was just too good at what he did, so I moved him up higher and put more stress on him.
Right. While going to school.
We'll
touch on that, I'm sure.
Yeah. But this might end up being a two-parter. So, okay, where are we at? We are at we're at MySpace, and we literally had these accounts that were made for nothing more than cutting down people.
Right.
Or not people, but cutting down
companies,
businesses that were deemed threats.
Right.
So originally, let me back up a little bit just to make sure I'm telling the whole story. So after you said no to being the boom operator.
Right. Holding the boom.
Yeah.
It was a stick with the cone.
Well, technically, the actual technical, I'm doing air quotes here, kids, it's called a boom operator.
Right. But I was like, no.
And then,
you're crazy.
And then he was like, who the, what is this dude? Literally, I don't think I've ever met him before. I don't know. I don't even know if I was like, hey, I'm Dave. How are you? No, knowing me, I probably just went up and said, hey, you want a job?
I think it was one morning after you gave me a report as we passed. And it was like, by the way.
Yeah, that sounds like something I would do.
I'm going to be making a movie. Would you like to hold the boom? And I just look at him like, dude, go home.
Only if he knew. So with that, then after that, we became friends, and then I hired you as an inker on the Yacht Gnome, and it was it the one shot that I wrote, or was it the Hell and Back one?
No, the one shot.
It was the one shot.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
And then I did some of Hell and Back with the Penster that I don't know if we're gonna name or not, but
I don't know. He follows us on the JayZoModcast.
Mm-hmm.
He follows it on Twitter. So I don't know.
Well, he knows who he is, huh?
Bravo. One of these days I got to bring him on if he's not too high.
Good luck with that.
And so I bring you on as an inker for the Yacht Gnome Hell and Back one shot.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, did I hire you as print coordinator, or were you already print coordinator?
I was print coordinator / inker.
Okay. And then after that is when I made you editor-in-chief.
Right, for the comics.
And how long were you editor-in-chief? Do you remember?
I gotta go back because that was 12 years ago. I think at least 2 years. I think as the EIC.
And in that time, we did
I don't know what to print.
the first of the now. No, I'm not going to rant. I'm not going to rant that even though it's been, I don't know how many years, almost over a decade, I'm still waiting for 2 more issues to come in from Bloody Red Path. I'm not going to rant. But anyway.
My ink's dry. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. And so, oh my gosh. I just had another thought that just popped into my mind that we could talk about too. So we did the first issue of Bloody Red Path, which he plotted.
Mm-hmm.
Rebecca scripted.
Right.
And he did the pencils, you did the inks, and then we had Electric Lettering do the letters.
I didn't do all the inks. I took over. I was helping him do pages here and there.
Catch him up, right? Because
right,
he's behind.
Catch him up. So I didn't do the whole issue. But that was probably the first real one I worked on for you.
Now, I'm trying to remember. Did you ink Sergeant Iron? Because I'm pretty sure there had to have been some ink in Sergeant Iron. Did you do it?
I might have done a cover for you. I think I did a cover for you. You did like a variant cover. I think I've inked all your variant covers that you personally have drawn.
Even to this day, kids, I did a sorority slaughters, which is coming out in the next year or two. Yeah. But anyway, I actually did a variant for that. And no, you haven't inked that. I actually have that here. I have it right here waiting for you.
I inked your other one.
The Darker Myth.
Right. That one I just inked. And that one I inked 2 covers for. Yours and
IDI.
IDI, the other penciler.
Yeah. I'm trying to get somebody else to do it. But we'll wait. Because that's another... I could really use an editor-in-chief. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I could really use an editor-in-chief at this point because things are starting to pick back up.
I see that.
Okay, so we put out that. Did we sell Majestic? I know Majestic went out with your brand,
we sold it through Kablam, where it sold a few copies.
Under Dark Myth title, or was it the royalty title?
Under the royalty.
Okay, so I'm just trying to...
But I think you were the publisher, I believe?
Yeah.
Your name was on it. Dark Myth was on it, but it was under royalty comics.
Essentially what it was is, like, the best way I can describe it, and this is where I kind of got the inspiration from, is the original Image Comics were published by Malibu Comics. Even though they were Image comic titles, they were published by another company.
Right.
And that was kind of my inspiration for doing that. Is though it was your company, it was my company that published them.
Right.
So, okay. So then, and oh, by the way, Majestic is a title that Mario created. Well, created or co-created?
I created, and then my wife wrote.
And then we're getting there. We're getting ready to do that transition. But, okay, so, and then he also did The Saints.
The Saints, right. And that's another one I created concept-wise, and my wife
wrote.
Wrote.
So we had all this going on.
My company, your company, and everything else in between. School, work. We were pretty worn out.
I don't know how. I honestly, in hindsight, I don't know how we did this for a long ass time.
Yes.
I don't think long ass was. I don't think that's a bad word.
I don't know, but you you slipped up more than I have. I don't think I've cussed yet.
But okay, so I'm trying to think about where this all come in.
Yeah, we've jumped around a lot so far. it's all flooding back and coming like
bits and pieces.
Let's talk about this.
Let's see. So, is it at this point that you go? I give you that promotion to president?
We were in school, and there was a lot on everybody's plate. Like, especially because you actually got back into writing. You were writing the end. You got back into writing that. And I think, Lacey? No. Was Lacey helping at the time?
No. The only thing that Lacey ever did, she was a site overseer for the World of Myth, which means that she would just go and click on links to make sure all the links were functional.
Yes. Something happened somewhere where you needed me to actually come in and basically take over for a little while. But I can't remember what happened. Because you were pretty upset because you were like, I don't want to do this to you because we were both going to school, both doing our own things too at the same time, but you needed me to take over. And I took over for, I want to say almost a year?
Yeah, almost a full year.
Yeah.
And during that time, was it during the whole, let's see, was it the whole fiasco with the body bag? Did it finally come to a head? Is that what happened?
That might have been it, yeah. It might, now that I think about it, yeah. I think you were starting to work on that.
Okay. And then...
Yeah, because I remember now, we were even going out and spotting areas to film.
Yeah, we did.
You. Yeah, so you went and worked on that when I took over everything else for you.
And officially, you would think it was just, okay, I made him president. No, I don't make things simple. I don't know why. I made him the CFO, which was Chief Financial Officer, President, and Chairman of the company.
Mm-hmm.
And there was 40 or 50 employees at the time?
Around that, yeah.
And then...
Some of them I've never even met. Didn't even know who they were, but they're yours. I'm like, okay.
Oh my gosh, good times, good times. I remember my mind just flashed back because you had helped do the whole deal with John Costas, which actually John Costas and I have become friends. He was the owner of Enemy. Remember Enemy Distribution?
Mm-hmm.
He's actually a friend of mine. We kind of chit chat back and forth on Instagram.
Oh, nice.
But pretty much almost the exact same thing happened with him when the market fell out. But we'll get there. Mm-hmm. But his company didn't survive. It just kind of folded in on itself. But anyway, that was a big thing because you got us a distributor, a specific independent distributor. And at the time, I felt, and I will go on record and say that was the stupidest thing that I've ever done, is I closed the World of Myth to open a print magazine. I should have kept both of them open. Mm-hmm. Because World of Myth, to this day, even though it's been rebooted, everything's been rebooted, the World of Myth is the hub.
Right.
And I'm sure I've said that to you before. Mm-hmm. That if you want to know anything that goes on with, well, back then Dark Myth, but now it's Dark Myth JayZoMod, actually JayZoMod Dark Myth. You go to the World of Myth, and that was stupid because I literally shut the door on all those people to bring it over. Now 2M, which I still think is a great idea. Mm. And for people that don't realize what 2M means, it's TWOM, the World of Myth. TWO, 2, and then M. It was actually an acronym for the World of Myth. And I remember we were doing it was the first issue, right? Of 2M?
Yes.
Terry, who is... Where was he? He was vice president at the time, right? Mm-hmm. But vice president and editor-in-chief over publications.
Right.
We all went out and we were like, we needed to shoot a cover because Mario was going to be on the cover, and they did a whole article about him. And I remember we went out to a cemetery of all places,
Right.
and shot a cover for the magazine, and we shot like different pictures to go into the article. That was some fun. And you know the
for you and Terry, you had a hard time getting me on this. Now, I'm not camera friendly either. I don't like. I'm pretty laid back person. I don't know if I'm shy, but I like just my inner circle.
Right.
And to put my picture out there and today my voice for everybody. I'm still.
How are you liking it, by the way?
I'm okay right now. I'm okay. I could use a cigarette, but we'll be all right.
Okay. Oh, that's right. You're a smoker. I forget. I'm
still a smoker. Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, we could talk about smoking stories, kids. I used to be a smoker too.
Worse than me.
Yes. So I made him the president, the CFO, and the chairman of the company. And let's see. What happened at that point? Do you remember where did you go? What did you work on? Because I mean, there was so much going on.
Ah, man. Obviously the magazine. I was still inking because we started
Smash. We started, yeah.
So I was inking that in between doing homework, in between running the company. It was in between being a husband and father of 3 at the time.
Yeah. You had one over. No, you had 2 over me.
At the time, yes.
At the time,
yeah, 2.
Now we're even.
And staying that way. I'm not trying to take the lead on nothing.
I was gonna say you're almost finished though. I still got a way to go, bro.
Yeah, my youngest is 13, so 5 more years and he'll be moving on like his brother and sister.
And then, Lily will be 3 in the next week. So yeah.
Yeah. I air crossed him if you don't know what he's laughing about. I did 1 daughter. He's got 2 to go through. So
So, let's go ahead and talk about Smash because that was fun because we had literally just started school, and I remember this because I was doing math. I was in a math class, and I would draw because I did the penciling for the book,
right?
And I would study a little bit, do homework, then kick out as many pages. Normally, it was like 1 to 2 pages per day.
Yeah,
and then then after all that, we'd meet up at work and I'd say, here.
Yeah. Hand me 4 to 5 pages at a time.
Then he's like, oh, see, I almost dropped the big one. No, pulled myself back on that one. Yeah, he was like, dang.
I heard that bomb coming.
So, and we actually, with everything going on, we literally made 1 issue in less than a month, huh?
Yeah, it was probably less than a month.
And then, did you ever see it colored?
I've seen pieces of it colored.
Really?
Yes. I know your sister did the cover.
Oh, no. Well, yeah. She
did one of the variant covers.
Yeah. Because she was, I don't remember, I think that was around the time she went off to film school, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she wasn't able to color it. So anyway, who, believe it or not, actually was just talking to not too long ago. He just got married, was Richard Wilson.
Okay. Wow, congratulations.
And yeah, he did, because he also did Majestic for you, right?
Yes.
And then he did Smash. After this, I'll pull it up. I actually have it on. I have a 1 terabyte external hard drive with all my crap right there. So I'll have to pull it up for you.
Which is probably damn near full.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it has the podcasts and all of the writing and publishing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So then, let's see. For some reason, we put out, let's see, this is about, 2008, right?
Yeah, about that. 2008, maybe 2009, maybe.
The beginning of 2009.
9. Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, because it was October 2009 is when things really got bad, is when the market fell out. So that's what I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
Um,
And in between, we did a novel for somebody that pretty much took us under.
oh my God. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. We
I could not give that away. Literally.
and that was another thing. He was never really officially branded with a title, but I would always bring boxes of material. I mean, okay, hold on real fast. Let me push pause here. Okay, we're back. If we had any sponsors, I'd put an advertisement right there.
Hint, hint. Anybody?
Yeah. Okay, this is literally 2006. We put out the World of Myth calendars. Were you there in 2006, or was that pre you? You came in 2007, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
2007. I did help on the calendar. We did. I was there for the next one.
That
the
one, right?
That's hanging up on your wall, yes.
And then also 2006 was our very first book, which is Book of Dreams. And then 2007 calendar, we came out at the end of 2006. Then the Greenhouse Murders came out in 2007. The Bloodlust Romance came out in 2007. And then the first World of Myth anthology came out in 2007. Then the World of Myth calendar, 2008 calendars came out in 2007. And the Erotica calendars for the 2008 came out in 2007.
Okay, so we were a year ahead of ourselves.
Then in 2008, we put out one book, and that was the Yotnam book. That's the only thing we put out in 2008. Which is interesting because now in hindsight, okay, never mind. It just clicked in my head why we didn't put out a 2009 World of Myth calendar. That is when it started undergoing the transformation to 2M. That's why we didn't do it. Okay.
And we were working on a big calendar.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was going to be. It would have been huge.
You know, I actually have that in the cards. In my 5-year plan.
Bringing it back?
Uh-huh.
Then we won't mention it. It'll be a surprise and everybody will like it.
Then believe it or not, for many years, the Yotnam To Hell and Back comic that we sold in 2008, that for many years was the best selling product we ever did. I mean, it was just like so cheap, everybody wanted to copy.
Mm-hmm. We had people buying multiples.
Yeah. Yeah. And which incidentally enough are actually worth something now.
Yeah, I have multiples.
I have the internet version, you know, the blue cover, and I have the gray cover. And that's all I have.
Those are the two I got too. Both signed.
And I don't know if mine's signed or not.
You didn't sign your own comic book?
I don't think I did. And then
so where was Bloody Red Path in that? Because that one got printed as well.
See, I missed that. Because the next thing I have is, remember, we put out in 2009. Actually, you must have stayed into 2010 because I remember you being involved in this upcoming book too. But in 2009, we put out one book, and it was the Mysterious Journey, a hot air balloon, the kids book.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when, okay, so we're in 2009. And the market drops out.
Yes.
And do you remember? Because when we were at work, and we're hearing about all this money just disappearing out of banking accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember? I was there. I called, and I think I literally started not bawling, but I got emotional.
Yeah.
Because there was literally $5, $10 left in the account, and there was. Do you remember? I mean, do you remember the number off the top of your head? I really don't.
Not exact number, no. But it hurt.
Yeah. And we were there and we heard about it, and we were like, okay. Then we sat down, and I mentioned this a long time ago. I don't remember where I mentioned this. It's somewhere in writing. And in fact, I actually remember texting you this. Okay, well, in 2010, it was you pushed me. You're like, we need to put out a book. We need to make a statement to everybody that we're still here, because all these independent companies just went, that was it. It collapsed. And so, and that's why I remember this book in particular, because you were the driving force behind it to really push me. And it was the Black Hearts, Red Blood Dreams that came out in 2010. And that was the sole intention for that book, was just to let everybody know we were still good.
Right. We're not going to just bend over and take it.
Right. And so then that was also the time that you separated from Dark Myth with Royalty.
Right.
And let's see. Okay. I'm trying to remember, because I have it where it says the Sergeant Iron one shot was in 2010.
I don't think it got printed, though. I've never seen a print copy. I think it got hung up somewhere.
Maybe. I'll have to look. I really don't remember. But I digressed to what I was saying. Is I actually text you, and let me go back even further. When the market fell out, you and I sat down and we were like, okay, what are we going to do to save the company?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, okay, I'm stopping everything. I'm stopping activity on the Saints and Majestic, and then I stopped activity. Maybe it was Sergeant Iron that I stopped activity on.
It may have been.
But anything that was involved in our side projects, bringing things forefront, we cut it.
Right.
But what it came down to is that it was your input, your ideas. Okay, do this, cut this, do this, cut this. And even though you had went from the company that year in 2010, I still followed your guidelines. And then were you around for the whole shenanigans with Russo when he took over Dark Myth?
No.
Okay. Anyway, when I got it back from Russo, and I'll tell you the story off the air, because it's one of those stories that don't need to be told.
Okay.
And I realized at that point that Dark Myth was still functioning. It was operational. I mean, we were down to bare bones, but we were still operational. And I texted you, and I was like, thank you for your input. You'd always been a valued friend, but you've also were a great commodity to the company, because if you hadn't been there, because I was freaking out, guys. I mean, legitimately freaking out, because we had so many plans to go forward with many different things that we had going.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden our funding, our collected funding, it wasn't like someone was giving us money.
No.
It was literally, we took these products.
We were completely self-invested.
Yes. And we just kept building and building and building. And that's kind of like where we're at right now, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Is we're whatever, like, we haven't started selling yet, but that's what we're doing, is every little bit of money that gets circulated goes into the pot.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, the blueprint's there.
Yeah. So, but anyway, for the first time, now that we're sitting face to face, thank you, my friend.
You're welcome. And I'll tell you, don't gotta thank me. It's what friends do.
We had a hell of a run.
Yeah. And I think that's why it worked so well. We didn't see, you didn't see me as just a business partner. It was a friendship thing, like we can do this. And we were doing it until, the stock market went out and everything crashed on us. And I think we had too much on our plate as well, though. Personal things going on as we were going back to school. Because we say, oh, let's go back to school, get a better job, more money for the company, and we'll snowball it that way.
Right.
Well, the snowball went the wrong way on us.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. And I was going to bring this up, and I got sidetracked, and we had a pretty little blonde that worked for us. And I will go again on record and say it was my fault because Mario was like, I don't have a good feeling. I'm like, okay. Noted, you're hired. You know. She was stealing from us, bro.
Oh, is that what was going on?
She was stealing from us.
Yeah, because she was a courier.
She was a courier.
And she was supposed to be handling that stuff. So she had the business card.
Yep. She was straight, and minor, 25 here, 30 here, 20, 30, 20. Just low
right.
numbers where you're like, okay, no big deal.
Probably lunches and whatnot, gas. On top of what we were already paying her.
So, and she was what? She held that position for, I want to say almost a year, right?
Oh, yeah, at least a year.
So she probably held it for, so I think after taking 20 here, 20 here, 20 here, 25, 30, I want to say legitimately she embezzled close to about $2,000 that year. And just small little withdrawals. And that's what I was going to bring up earlier and then until now. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Totally just and it was you, like I said, you said, and I remember this, we were standing outside and you said it right in front of her. You go, I don't trust her.
Yeah. I don't have a problem telling people things. I'm pretty sure there was other words in there.
Probably.
But at the time, it's your company in the end. So
I wasn't thinking logically. I mean, again, I'm just being honest. I wasn't thinking logically. Yeah, so there you go, kids. There's a lesson to take away from. Don't trust a pretty face. Don't always trust a pretty face.
Use the right head when you're thinking.
Yes. There you go.
Especially when it comes to business.
So, any thoughts that you want to bring up? Anything that, what jumps to the forefront of your mind?
As far as the company or where we're at now?
You could talk about the company or where you're at, or, kind of side things that I don't, I don't know to talk about, or.
Oh, I'm back in the inking. Doing, since the internet's evolved a lot since way back when.
Yeah, big time.
I don't know if it's stealing because they post it, so you can pretty much grab it and off a website, DeviantArt, take it, print it, and ink it, color it, whatever you want to do with it.
Right.
So I've done that with a few different artists. John Boy Myers. I got some Greg Capullo art and Jim Lee art, and I'm working on inking their old pictures because eventually my goal is I want to be a professional inker, and you got me into that, so thank you for that.
Oh, you're very welcome. Okay, that's a good story to retell. Do you remember how it all started?
You getting me into inking?
Probably
how you wanted me to hold a boom. I don't know. But I liked art. I liked comic books, so I was more willing to, okay, I can do that,
Now, this is before you and I even knew what a nib was.
Right.
Didn't I buy you some Copic or something? And I need you to help me catch up this artwork.
I think there were some Pigma pins.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was, okay, what can you do? And I was like, I didn't even know what inking was. And he's like, oh, you're going to do this, and go around, make the lines dark and black. And I was like, you want me to trace? And just inking is not tracing.
No, it's a total different type of skill.
At the time, him describing it to me, I thought, you want me to trace somebody's artwork? And he was like, yeah, pretty much. That's the gist of it. But you have to do highlights. Everybody has their own style. And then that's how I got into inking. And I think I stopped inking for a good 5-6 years, and then the bug bit me again. Like, with you back into the company, and here I'm want to get back into inking and go professional is my goal.
I've said this for years. You have that ability. There's people that can ink and there's people that can't ink. The same day I gave you those markers was another day that I gave another set of markers to somebody else. And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you delivered, obviously.
Yeah.
And I never got from the other guy. Ever.
We didn't even get the pins back.
No. No, that's not true. We did get them back, but they were dried out, remember?
Oh, he gave them back to you?
Uh-huh.
Well, might as well have kept them. They were dried out.
Yeah. Yeah, good times.
Yeah. So that's what I'm currently doing right now. Now that I got 2 kids out of the house, basically, so I got a lot more free time. And got a desk and everything and all supplies. I probably got a good $200-$300 worth of supplies going. And just about 3 nights a week, 4 to 6 hours, I'm putting ink on paper.
Before you leave, I need to print out. I wrote a brand new Jotun story to go with the action figure.
Okay.
I'm completely rebooting the Jotun.
Are you hinting that you're going to need an inker?
I am hinting that I'm going to need an inker, yes. I actually hired a guy from Mother Russia to draw my Japanese comic book. A white boy who wrote a Japanese comic book hired a Russian artist that will need a Hispanic inker. See, we're diverse here, kids.
Oh, have you said where IDI is from in any of your podcasts? Have you mentioned him?
No.
Yeah, and your penciler from Nigeria?
Nigeria, yes.
Like, Nigeria. When you hear Nigeria and you go, oh, thinking cows and all that, yes, you're right. That Nigeria. I don't know if there's a established part or not, but he definitely does not live in that part of it.
Right. Well, he was telling me, and this was a couple months ago, that they're in a place now, but they don't have air conditioning. They have a ceiling fan.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I would melt. I mean, right now, even with the fan on and the ceiling fan on, and it's 8 something at night. I can't see that far away. Almost 8:30 at night.
It's probably still like 90 degrees outside.
Yeah, and I'm hot.
Mm.
I mean, it's just really warm. So to imagine it in Africa, Nigeria, where it's probably still 120 degrees at night.
Right, with the ceiling fan.
Oh my God, I would melt.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm waiting for him. He's getting married. Did I tell you that?
IDI?
IDI is getting married. Oh. Mm-hmm. And so after that all gets situated, then he is going to be working on an adult comic book called Sorority Slaughters, which for an adult comic book, the only reason why I'm doing this, and it's going to be under the New Wave title, is it was the last thing that Terry and I ever worked on.
Right. You got to pay homage to Terry.
There is coming. Okay, I'm going to plug this real fast. This has nothing to do with comics, but Terry is Terry, and he was my mentor. But we are paying homage to him this month because her birthday was one day after Carrie's birthday. Her birthday, I'm pointing out my daughter Zoe. Her birthday is September 27th. Terry's was September 26th.
And my daughter's the 28th.
I did not know that.
Yes.
That's crazy. But for this month, for September, on Terry's birthday, it would have been his 69th birthday, because we always joked that I was going to throw him like a sexy 69 birthday, But for his 69th birthday, we are bringing Erotica back for one special one shot, and it's called Erotica One Night Stand.
Oh, nice.
And it's an ode to Terry,
Mm-hmm.
and there's going to be a lot of original Erotica contributors, and this is 18 and older kids. So just throw that out there. If you're not 18, just don't even pay attention to what I'm saying. And but yeah, so we're doing a special Erotica thing for Terry because you had brought it up, pay tribute, homage to him, and that's what we're doing exactly. Because Terry was Erotica. That was never my thing.
Yeah, I didn't even dabble in that either. Even being in charge of everything, Terry that was his world.
Yeah.
Wasn't gonna tell him anything.
You turned your head. What was that?
Oh, I just got a text.
That's okay. Yeah, because they're monodirectional. So when you turned and you were speaking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I don't even know where I left off.
It's okay.
I was saying Erotica. That's Terry's. That's his world. Didn't even.
It was.
Let him be.
Yeah.
I don't even know what he would have done if I would have said, "Hey, your deadline's coming." I probably would have got a big F you. And so no, Terry was he knew what he was doing.
Yes.
That's one thing. One person and one subsidiary I did not have to worry about.
No, never. Terry was always on time with the absolute highest quality material.
Oh, yeah.
So, you good?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. So, let's see. I'm trying to make sure I got everything covered. Did I mention that I need an editor-in-chief?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And
more than one, I think that's the second or third time.
Okay.
And multiple texts and DMs.
I am persistent. I can't help it.
He's trying to give me a crack. But I know the work that goes into it, and I told him if I can't give him 100%, which I don't feel I can right now, I will not do it because I will not harm the company in any way.
Well, I'm patient. You know this. I'm patient, brother. I did it again.
That's 5 for you, 0 for me.
I don't know what happened, man. I think it's subconsciously because I know I'm not supposed to curse.
Right.
So it's just like most of the time I don't curse. Well, especially in front of her, I won't curse.
And usually I don't care.
Yes, it comes out
like natural. But I'm trying to be good. I think it's because your daughter is next to me, so that's why I'm not. My son's used to it.
He's nodding, thumbs up. Yeah. So, anytime you want to come over, the mic is free range.
I'm having fun, so yeah, maybe I'll stop by every once in a while and we can do this.
Tell me more about. There's a comic convention coming up. So what's going on there?
Next month in LA at the LA Convention Center, which is where you and I did our first convention together ever. My first one, period.
Yeah, it was mine too.
I think yours as well. Wizard World, which
when it was good, yes.
Right. But now I think it's just LA Comic Con or something now. But Greg Capullo is going to be there for 2 days.
And Greg Capullo is, well, I mean, for people that's listening, they should probably know who he is.
I hope they know who he is. If they don't know who he is, he's an artist. He, I don't know where exactly he originally started. I want to say Marvel, X-Force, right. Then he did some Spawn over at Image, which is where I discovered him because I'm a big Spawn fan. And currently now he's doing Batman. It's penciler for Scott Snyder. He's done Court of Owls. He just got done with Dark Knight Metal.
Did you notice any of those when you came in?
Yeah. And right now he showed bits and pieces. He's working on a Swamp Thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Swamp Thing's coming back. And he's done some of his own stuff. His own
independent stuff?
Independent Creech. I believe is how you say it. The Creech. So that's who that is. And he's one of the ones that I would love to ink eventually one day. So I'm going to meet him. He's in my top 5 pencilers to meet.
Okay. That's, so while we're thinking about it, I'm bringing the mic a little bit closer to me. I wanted to pick your brain about the Spawn movie that's coming out.
Okay.
Now, I want to say you liked the first one, right?
Yeah, I enjoyed it back in '97, I believe. So I was 15.
Wow.
So at the time, yeah, I loved it. And then didn't get to watch the animated series when it first came out. Didn't have HBO. So I had to wait till I could get that on. I think back then it was DVDs, maybe VHS. But it took me a while to see the animated series. But the movie, I enjoyed it.
What do you think? Because it's supposed to be written and directed by Todd McFarlane.
Right.
And he's saying it's a horror film.
He's comparing it to Jaws, whereas you don't see the shark throughout the whole movie.
Right.
But when you do see him, he's wreaking havoc, basically. So it's going to be, from what I'm understanding and getting from him, it's going to be more, you're going to see Twitch more and like those type of characters. And Spawn will be from the shadows here and there, which will be cool, but I'm still surprised Jamie Foxx is doing it, because to me he's the type that I got to be on camera. I'm the big guy here.
Right.
Show me. And he wanted to do Spawn back in '97.
Did he?
No, Michael J. White played Spawn.
No, I mean he wanted to play.
Oh yeah, he wanted to play Spawn.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and now he got brought up again, and McFarlane got him. So that's going to be interesting, where he's only going to be on the screen here and there. Because initially when McFarlane said for the casting for Spawn that anybody could play Spawn, because he's not going to be shown that much.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then they go get, I guess he's an A-list actor, Jamie Foxx to play.
Oh yeah, definitely.
To play somebody like that, it was surprising.
Now, are they going to do the Al Simmons thing and then show him as?
There's not supposed to be any origin at all.
Oh, really?
No. I'm sure you'll probably might get bits and pieces, but it's not supposed to be an origin at all. So
okay.
We'll see. And it's supposed to go, I believe they're hoping it goes in production next year. Still no date yet, though.
It's Blumhouse that's producing?
Yeah.
Interesting. Because they're known for their low budget.
Right, which this movie is going to be low budget. He's not putting a lot of money into it.
Really?
No. And then he just got the guy that does The Walking Dead. I can't think of his name at the moment. But he does their effects. And all their makeup and everything.
He's doing the effects for Spawn?
He was on the original Spawn as well. But they got him to come back for this Spawn too. So I think it'll be good. I'm not into the effects too much anyways. Yeah. I did like how they did the cape in the first one. And John Leguizamo as the Violator. To me he stole the movie.
He did.
So
Jay has it on Blu-ray. And that's actually one of his favorite movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could sit down and watch that movie all day.
I'm trying to think of any type of, because normally we talk, comic book news and stuff like that, but I don't know. It's just you and I. We've had such a adventurous past together. It was almost felt necessary. I mean, I've mentioned you many times.
Yeah, I've heard your podcast, and without I think saying my name though, really. Yeah. You might have said my name, and that we've been together for a while.
Oh, I'm just, not to sound over dramatic is what I'm trying to think. Think of my words correctly. But I'm legitimately happy that you're back.
Yeah.
Not even on a business level, as a friendship level.
Yeah, I'm happy too. It's been a while. We've kind of been doing our own thing. You've had stuff happen in your life. I've had stuff happen in mine, and now we're back.
Exactly.
We're back.
And we got just after 10 years, because we went to Wizard World in 2008, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was 10 years, legitimate 10 years from our first convention. We went to a convention.
Right. That's 2 months ago?
Yeah, it was in May.
2 months ago, we went to Ontario Comic Convention.
There's in my 5-year plan, I actually have a plan for a convention. I can put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Called the JayZoModcast. And that's where I want to hold it, is at the Ontario Convention Center, because I think it's just the right size for everything.
Yeah, that it was actually pretty nice. It was only their second year doing it, and it was good. I enjoyed it, and I know you got to meet Chris Claremont.
Yeah.
I as well, man, but you're the writer. That's more your thing.
Yeah, I still haven't printed out that picture yet.
Yeah. I got to meet John Boy Myers, which he's an artist, if anybody doesn't know. He's done DC. Also worked on Spawn, is how I initially came across his work. And Danny Mickey was there as well, which, if you don't know who that is, he's an inker, and he's done Spawn as well. Batman, you name it, he's Spider-Man, he's done it. And
Danny, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Danny Mickey is who I was going to
say,
my guy.
That's your equivalent to Chris Claremont.
As far as inker-wise, yes.
Yeah.
I study his work a lot.
Line weights and
everything. Him, Mark Morales, Scott Williams, which everybody, if you know Jim Lee, you know who Scott Williams is.
I actually follow him on Twitter.
Scott Williams?
Yes.
Yeah, I follow him as well. Jim Lee has Twitter as well.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he has Twitter, Twitch. Yeah, he's all into social media.
Right up there, it's signed by Chris Claremont. And it's Jim Lee artwork with Scott Williams, inking.
Right, the X-Men #1.
Yes. I know. It was actually more of a look what I did.
Uh-huh.
It was my opportunity to show you what I did.
Now we got to get Jim Lee to sign in Scott Williams.
Well, technically, I have Jim Lee's signature.
Not on that one.
Not on that one.
You also have Stan Lee's signature, which he's on the list, but time's wearing on that one.
Yeah, because he's gonna be like 96 this year.
Yeah.
And you've listened to previous episodes of this podcast, right?
Stan Lee?
No, of this on.
Oh yeah, yours, yeah.
And so you've heard, he's having some financial problems and people like elderly abuse and this.
Oh yeah, it should never happen to anybody, regardless of who you are, name, how big you are, no matter what.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. It really is.
Yeah. See, the cussing's gonna start coming out if we keep talking about it, because that's wrong.
Touchy, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. What do you think about Marvel purchasing Fox?
Hopefully we can get some good remakes finally, because they've missed the mark on so many. And I know you're an X-Men fan. I think you enjoyed the movies, but
me,
yeah, but they're wrong.
Yeah, way wrong.
They're wrong. The Fantastic Four series, both shots at them.
Oh my God! Did you see the last version?
Nope, I refused.
Oh, you saved 2 hours of your life.
Yes,
okay,
I refused to watch it.
It was just horrible.
I've heard, and no, I have not seen that one, and will not see that one.
What about Deadpool 2?
I've seen it. Like it. Now I'm hoping that there's a Deadpool Spider-Man crossover maybe coming.
There should be.
We'll see. Maybe we can get a Deadpool Wolverine.
Yes.
Hugh Jackman said he'd come back and play Wolverine if that happens, so let's cross our fingers.
Oh, he did finally say yes?
Yeah. He said if that happened, he would play Wolverine one more time. Logan, I hated.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I'm an X-23 fan.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And
it was all wrong. Yeah.
Right. I got to learn to separate comic from movie.
Yeah.
Because they don't follow, but when it's a character that I like and enjoy, when they mess it up, I kind of
took it personal.
Take it to heart.
Yeah.
And they messed up Laura Kinney's story completely, or X-23 if you don't know her real name. So
yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Nah, that was rough. It was a good movie. I like that it was rated R, so they pushed it. But when it came to her, her backstory was wrong.
Way wrong.
Way wrong.
Yeah, because you're the one who introduced me to X-23. I didn't even know she existed.
Mm-hmm. Well, no one really saw her until they did the X-Force when Cyclops led the team.
Right.
Back in 2000.
When comic books didn't suck. Yes.
Yeah. Back when they say Mike Choi was actually on that one as far as penciling it.
Those were some good comic books, kids. I mean, they were just like they pushed the limit. Right. They really did.
And that's what. Well, part of it led up, and then it crossed over with the Messiah Complex.
Yes, which was amazing. That was probably the last good crossover I read.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, looks like you made a friend finally.
He's warming up.
He smells a cat.
Probably.
Normally, this is the first time ever doing a podcast. I've actually let him in the room to. I have a yellow. Well, he's more of a white lab. His dad I had him for like 12, 13 years. Unfortunately, he went senile. That's what happened to Cody. So that's Cody's son. I'm sure you can look at him and tell that's Cody's.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Not as big though.
No.
I remember Cody being bigger.
Cody was huge. Yeah. He was like 150 pounds. Yeah. He is. He's part Shar-Pei. Is why.
Oh, okay.
The black dog Ursa out there, that's his mom.
Oh. So Cody just manhandled her.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and he was the only white dog. There was 6 in the litter, and 5 of them were black, and he was the only white one. And I tried to save him and his sister, and I couldn't save his sister. But I was able to save him. He just had to, because she had the puppies, and it was like almost instantaneously. I think they were like a month, 2 months old. They had parvo, and parvo is just rampant on their system.
Yeah,
and he had the will. He didn't want to die, as where the others just gave up. So
the fighter.
And now he's like, as you can tell, he's attached to the hip. He's
another kid.
Yep, he is. He's good with all 3 of them too. Jay, Zoe. He's specifically with the girls. He's very protective.
Yeah, I noticed that when I showed up here today.
So yeah, he's a good boy. All right. I was laughing because if you go and listen to like some old scene read, you hear Cody in the background. He used to have a fetish with like sniffing the mics.
Oh.
So you'd hear him sniffing. So.
Well, he's being good so far.
Yeah, he's gonna lay down. Lay down. Yeah, I didn't think about. Sorry, I got caught up with him.
No, that's fine.
I didn't think about the X-23. I mean, I know the backstory because you let me read the comic. But yeah, they did. They totally. Are you hoping that because they're coming out with an X-23 movie? I heard that.
Oh, that I have not heard.
I have. I heard that it is inked, but I don't know anything else. I don't know if they're bringing back the girl or if they're
I hope they make her a little older then, and it's got to be rated R as well because she was violent. She was made to be an assassin.
The irony, and I almost positive you don't know this part, but I'll tell you about it. Is in Brian Michael Bendis was given control of the X-Men for 5 years.
Okay.
That's why I stopped reading comics. You know my feelings about Bendis.
Yeah, gotcha.
Anyway, he started a comic book that was called The Astonishing X-Men, and because they made Cyclops a villain.
Oh, really?
Yes. Which
Your favorite character?
my favorite character would, and I hated
Uh-huh.
that they made him a villain. They're like they made him have a nervous breakdown because somehow he got infected, not consumed but infected by the Phoenix Force. And I'm like, but he's not as telepathic.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, horrible writing.
Okay.
And so he kills Professor Xavier, and he, instead of deciding that, oh wow, I was possessed by some type of cosmic entity, they just decided to make him a villain.
Is that where I've seen him in a red outfit with the X?
The X.
Okay.
That looks
Hideous.
Yeah, I almost slipped.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Bendis decides that he's going to have Hank McCoy, and they go into the past and they grab the original 5 X-Men: Cyclops, Jean Grey, Beast, Angel. Oh my God. Did I just blink out?
Those 4.
Those 4, the original 4? I think you're right. Oh my God. Take away my nerd badge.
Yeah, I don't. You know X-Men more than I do. That's your wheelhouse. Kitty?
No. Beast, Angel, Cyclops, Iceman.
There you go.
I knew there was 5 of them. And anyway, he brings the original 5 back to modern time and hopes to show the villainous Cyclops of the error of his ways.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think hooks up? Now, mind you, this is from 1963 X-Men, so these are all teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
Who does the teenage Cyclops hook up with?
What, Jean Grey?
No.
Oh.
X-23.
Really?
Yes. Which the irony, because the adult Cyclops and the adult Wolverine, they don't like each other, but there's a mutual respect of, you're the boss. I'm going to follow your orders because, you know what you're doing.
Right. They even clashed in the X-Force series.
Yeah. But it was almost like a brother relationship.
Love hate.
Yeah. So to have Wolverine's clone, female version clone, hook up with Cyclops, that was actually kind of funny.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't read it.
It didn't last long.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Then she ran off with Angel, I think.
Okay, even that.
Yeah. It was some dark times during the X-Men.
Yeah, I have not read an actual comic book series in forever. I still collect, but it's more of
random,
like key numbers. Maybe whoever did the art on the comic book.
Okay.
But as far as, I don't have a pull list or anything like that anymore at the comic book store.
Me neither.
Haven't read a series. I think the last series I've read was the Court of Owls series with Snyder and Capullo.
You're behind.
I'm way behind.
Do you want to borrow? I have. I
think
all
you said
those.
you had the whole set, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I may have to.
Let me tell you. Do you know the story behind Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo? Do you know their original origin story?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Let me share this with you because you're going to enjoy this. So Scott Snyder is a award-winning writer. He's an author.
Mm-hmm.
He's written novels, and they DC hire him to write the Batman because they're rebooting the New 52. And because of his top-selling status as a mystery suspense writer, they're like, oh, he'll just kill it, right? So they hire him, and he's all excited. And then they bring in Greg Capullo. And, of course, Greg Capullo, his work speaks for himself.
Right.
But Greg Capullo is a rebel. He's like straight rebel.
Mm-hmm.
So the original script for the first Batman was like one of my scripts. Scene 1, panel 1, this is, in detail, side view of a wide angle of, Batman busting. Yeah.
Breaking it down Barney style.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. And he did a whole script, and he gives it to the editor. The editor does his thing, and then the editor gives it to Greg Capullo, and Greg Capullo's like, "Oh, that's cute." And he's like, he kind of followed it, but he didn't go with, the way that
Scott saw it.
Yeah, broke it down.
Mm-hmm.
Sent the pages back for, because, well, this as well as anybody. After the artist does his art, then it goes back to the writer for the writer to take a red pen, circle it, and number where the balloon captions go.
Right.
And it went back to Scott Snyder, and he looked at it, and he's like, "This is not what I wrote at all."
Mm-hmm.
And so the editor, Scott Snyder, and Greg Capullo, they all met up, and Scott Snyder's like, "I'm an award-winning writer. I know what I'm doing." And Greg Capullo goes, "Your mama must be proud, but that's not what I do." So Scott Snyder almost quit. He almost quit the title.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, "You know what? Just let me just alter my writings around this artwork." And then the next one was like less detailed.
Mm-hmm.
And to the point where now they're like, Batman walks in and sees Joker. That's it.
Right.
And they're like brothers. They're like the best of friends now.
Yeah, you can see their relationship. They go everywhere together.
And but at first they were like, he was thinking about quitting.
Well, good thing he didn't. Good for us anyways.
Yes.
And for him, but he probably didn't need the job, but for us, that was a good thing he didn't quit. We wouldn't have all the stories we have.
And he reimagined Batman. I know there's some people out there that don't like the version of him,
mm-hmm.
but his version is my favorite version of Batman.
I like that. I like Scott Snyder's, and Greg Capullo just he can bring anything to life.
He just tears it apart. He does.
And then Jonathan Glapion, which is Greg Capullo's inker. Just what he does with his pencils, it's amazing. He's another one that I study as well.
What's the name?
Jonathan Glapion. He's the inker for Capullo.
Oh, really? So there's their team.
Yeah, there's a whole team. They're more of teams now than you. I believe you still get your randoms. Like I got a variant depending on who's busy at the time, but it's those three that are really. You're gonna see those three a lot. But I believe Cordovalos was actually inked by Mickey.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, Mickey worked with Capullo there for a while, and he worked with Capullo for Spawn. So I always go back to Spawn and Mickey.
Yeah. In fact, if you go to Mario's Twitter page, what's your Twitter handle?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't.
No, you don't know?
I don't know it by heart now.
Oh, okay. He's looking it up, but as he's looking it up, I'll keep talking. Is on his profile picture, there's a picture, unless you changed it.
No, it's still Spawn.
Yeah, and that's
Danny Mickey.
He actually drew Spawn.
Yeah, I got him to do a commission for me at the Ontario convention, and he inked it and did a little bit of color and everything right there in front of me.
Okay, hit me with your Twitter handle.
At @M_Martinez_32.
So you were 32 when you...
No, the 32 is actually my son's football number.
Oh, okay.
So I carry that for him.
Okay, that's cool. That's awesome.
Normally, I would use the number 28 because that's the day Rachel and I got together and married. But for some reason, I used my son's football number on that one.
Let's jump to Rachel real fast. And one of these days, I'd love to bring her in. I know she's working right now.
Mm-hmm.
But Rachel has history with Dark Myth as well.
As a writer, I believe she edited it first.
She was an editor. She was a writer. And then she took your spot as editor-in-chief.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
she was busy there for a while. She felt our pain there for a little bit. But it was okay. We got all this going on. Who can we trust?
Right.
Because It was a trust issue.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Handing over the reins to somebody to take over. Couldn't just do it for anybody. So
I was explaining it. I'm trying to think of who I was explaining it to. It might have. I'm not sure. I was on Facebook. I was explaining it to somebody in private chat.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you've got JayZoMod, you have the JayZoModcast with all the podcasts, and you have the relaunch of the Dark Myth publications, JayZoMod publications, this and that, and whatever, there will always be a special place in my heart for Dark Myth comics, for the simple fact that Dark Myth comics is what started it all. That's the seed in all of this.
Yeah.
So, in order to be the head of Dark Myth comics, there has to be an ultimate level of trust.
Right.
So, in order to head, Dark Myth comics, you would have to have, especially at that time, because it was you and I running the company.
Right.
With Terry, he was kind of like the third on the tier, and in order to run Dark Myth comics, you would have all three of us had to sign off on it.
Yeah.
And that was Rachel. Everybody's like, let Rachel do it.
Right.
But we'll bring her in one of these days, and we'll talk
I'm
about
sure
it.
I can get her in here. Problem is, right now with our work schedule, we're split, so we get one day, not even a day, one night together per week.
That's it.
So yeah.
Oh goodness.
So it's rough right now. So
it might.
Once I can get the schedule figured out, yeah, I'm sure I can get her over here.
All right, brother. Thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, thank you for having me. This was actually pretty fun. I was nervous, but like you said, once we got talking,
the mic disappeared, didn't it?
It disappeared.
Yeah, it's just it's good times. That's what it's all about. Is having a good time, having a good conversation, and fortunately for us, the listeners pick up on that. If you're having a good time, they'll listen. If you're just like,
unless now I'm gonna be nervous on how I sound when I go to listen to it.
No, you sound normal. You sound like yourself.
And I did not cuss.
No,
I did not cuss.
So what was
you, on the other hand?
What, 5 times?
Yeah, but hey, it's your podcast, so you can do what you want.
I'll bleep it out or I'll cut it out.
I heard on the last one too that this is the only one that Jay listens to. So
yes, yeah, and that's the whole reason why I keep it clean, because he doesn't like it when I curse.
Yeah, so I didn't think he'd want you and I talking how we normally talk outside of here.
Yeah, he doesn't listen to any of the podcasts because of curse, and it's just weird because he grew up listening to me. I mean, it was just natural.
Right, you kind of do it subconsciously. It's
just something he doesn't like.
Cussing it's a filler.
Yeah,
you just. I know I almost did it right there, trying to do an example, but it's just filler.
So again, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And I honestly hope you come back if you want to do your own show and you want to use my gear. Just throwing that out there. So
hey, Dave knows how to put you on the spot as well.
All right, kids, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Come back next time, and I think next time, because the last 2 weeks I've had guests, I think we'll take a break on the guest, and I'll just do my run on the news and catch everybody up. So for this week, I am David K. Montoya.
Mario Martinez.
And I bid you adieu.